It's the No Face Movement, and it's April the 12th, 2018. We bring warnings and watches on weather, on severe storms for April the 13th till April the 18th. But we're also bringing warnings and watches from April the 13th till April the 21st for three major storms that will be created within the next week. And the first one is underway right now. So please hit that subscribe button at the top and stay up to date. All right, we're gonna bring you earthquake warnings and all that this Sunday or Monday. So stay tuned for that. So right now we're at spaceweather.com. When you look at the sun, there ain't no sunspots, no AR, so we're good on solar flares. And it's actually been a quiet year for solar flares or AR sunspots. All right, but there is a G1 class geomagnetic storm that is heading to Earth right now from the 12th until the 15th, to give about 24 to 72 hours. A G1 is a lower scale of a geomagnetic storm out of G1 all the way up to G5. And the reason for the G1 geomagnetic storm is because there's a major coronal hole on the sun. Now, as this coronal hole moves away from the sun, we will see three more coronal holes open up, as you can see at the end. And we're going to stay up to date. We're going to bring you more on Sunday or Monday. But from this geomagnetic storm, that's a G1, we will see an increase in severe weather. All right. So let's get into cast and let's search and let's show you what's happening around our nation. Right now in the Northeast, they got heavy rains, some severe thunderstorms. When you go up towards Michigan through Wisconsin, you got light showers, but they're creating into a bigger one. We're going to get into the new 5G Harp rings. We used to do Harp circles from Alaska. We used to do scalar squares, but now we're just going to call out what it is now, 5G Harp rings from those 5G cell towers that you see around. That's where you see all these little green dots and even circles. So we're going to get into that in 1 second. All right. If you look at the West Coast and Central Plains, there is snow, there is heavy rain, there is lightning, there's everything that's going on from the Central Plains, from around Wyoming all the way over to Washington. All right, down south, in Texas, southern west of Texas, and the border of Mexico, you can see a Harp ring. So let's get into this. There is right now a major storm forming over here. All right, where Idaho is, Washington, Oregon, Nevada, Utah. All right, folks, we're gonna get right into it. As you can see, if you go to the wind map, all right, you can see all that warm air is going up north. That's why it's like 70s and 60s up in the northeast, the Midwest, the Central Plains, because all that dry air from the south is getting sucked up. All right, but we got low pressure. You can see where all the wind's heading right over Wyoming, not Wyoming, but around Idaho, Wyoming, over there by Colorado. And where that's happening, that's this right here. All right, over Idaho right here, Wyoming, all the way towards South Dakota. You got Utah in it. So let's look at the next 24 to 72 hours with Harp rings and put warnings and watches for severe storms. If you look at central Pennsylvania, you're going to see a red light. Boom, that's a 5G. We're going to play it too. It's a 5G Harp ring. It's one of these new 5G electronic shock Harp rings. And we're going to bring more videos on it. It's right. It was right in the center of the CCX. As you scroll up, though, let's look at it one more time. And let's hit pan and zoom play animation real fast, folks. When you play animation, it's not on it. But when you go out a little bit farther, you can see it. So let's go out a little bit farther and let's see what's happening. And let's hit play. It's right there where the red is. You see it right there in central Pennsylvania. I'm putting warnings and watches for the next 24 to 72 hours for severe thunderstorm warning for New York and Pennsylvania, New Jersey, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia. I'm putting warnings and watches. All right. From all the way from Texas, because in southwest Texas, you can see there's a Harrp ring all the way down into Mexico. All right, you got the system up here that's building up. All right, so around Saturday till Sunday, we're going to see major tornado outbreaks from Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee. All right, folks, warnings and watches for the South for major tornadoes from Sunday to Monday. And all next week, too, we're going to see major systems, as you see at the end of this video, are going right through the South. I'll put warnings and watches later on for midweek for the Northeast, possible tornadoes on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for the Northeast and the north of the Midwest, Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Michigan for tornado warnings. All right, folks, earlier today when I was looking at Iowa, all right, right next to Wisconsin and Illinois, there was another Harp ring. So I put warnings and watches for the next 24 to 72 hours for the Central Plains. All right, anywhere you see Harp rings, all right, these new 5G Harp rings, warnings and watches. All right, when you look up at Washington, all right, you can see that big circle. All right, warnings and watches from now, from the 12th all the way to the 14th for major storms still affecting Washington, Oregon, Wyoming, Idaho, all right, Colorado, Nevada. We got Harp rings within the north of California, all right, Utah, all right, Arizona, all right, warnings and watches for all the West, all right, all the way to the Central Plains for the next 24 to 72 hours, starting right now till 72 hours. And if you look right in the middle of Wyoming, if you just look at the blue lines, one big circle, this is a major system that is coming through. All right, within the next 48 hours, the system is going to move, all right, towards the most eastern part of the Central Plains, going into the Midwest, and down south is going to have this system that's right here that's creating, and south is going to become a major system itself, and it's going to cause tornadoes later on this week. All right, folks, so warnings and watches. All right, we're going to bring you more weather updates later on. Now, if you look up at Canada, we are seeing Harp rings too. You see this Harp ring up here? Warnings and watches for Canada. All right. Now, this is the No Face Moon. Please like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Facebook. We're going to bring more weather updates, how we always do. Check out the video at the end. We got 3 major storms starting tomorrow. All right. This system right here off to the west is going to come move east, going to break off, go down south. All right, folks. We got major tornado warnings for Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Mississippi, Alabama, for Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, Kentucky, Tennessee, parts of Indiana, Ohio, and later on next week for Michigan and upper northeast around Monday, Tuesday. Same with Illinois' tornado warnings. I'm putting them in effect today because on the 13th, 14th, we are going to see an outbreak of tornadoes. This is the No Face Movement, moving till next time. And please watch this next video that's part of this. Next weekend, we are getting one of the biggest spring storms of the century. And it's going to start around Friday, Saturday next week, all right, from the 19th to the 23rd. So please be prepared. We are in springtime. This year is going to be one of the worst spring and hurricane season. From the geomagnetic storm, a G1, it's the lowest of the lows on the geomagnetic storm, but it's going to charge up the system. And we are seeing all these little green specks. That is the new 5G Harp system. On top of the old Harp rings and the scalar squares that we see, and the one major one that's right in the middle of Wyoming, around Oregon, all that, we are seeing this. All right, folks, be prepared. This is the No Face Movement. Move until next time. Facing off.